Deck is one that a lot of people in my group hate, and for good reason. It's kind of a Skithiryx Voltron deck, but kind of not. The main reason why Skithiryx is hated is because he basically turns the 21 general damage rule into 10. The only real limiting factor about him is that you have to play mono black, which isn't really the best Voltron color. I would say that honor would go to white. I have a Kemba list built, and I would know this. The mana base is really nothing special. Love my F&M Cabal Coffers. Although most mono black decks tutor for Cabal Coffers first, that's not the first thing I get, and you'll see why. Reliquary Tower, Vesuva to copy Coffers. Any deck playing Coffers should be playing Vesuva. Cycling Lands, Leech-Ridden Swamp. Don't know why Leech-Ridden Swamp is in here. I've never had that life loss be relevant. Soul Ring, because it should be in every deck. And just a whole pile of basics. Very important for all the Swamps Matters cards in the deck. And things like Gauntlet of Power, Nirkana Revenant, and Cage Sun that care about swamps. Well, Cage Sun doesn't really care about swamps, but Cage Sun cares about things that tap for black mana, and Gauntlet of Power cares about basic lands. I still don't have a Vampiric tutor, which is kind of irksome, but I'm running pretty much all the other good tutors. Dimir Houseguard transmutes for 4, which grabs a couple of key cards you'll see later. Brainspoil grabs Skithiryx if he gets tucked. Brainspoil also grabs Venser's Journal, which you'll see is very important. And then the rest of the cards are, well, not Dimir Machinations. Dimir Machinations grabs the key card in the deck, which is why it's in here. And then just your standard tutors, Diabolic Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Beseech the Queen, which more decks need to play because it's really good. I usually start the game by ripping things out of your hand, or ripping things out of your deck. More black decks need to be playing Sadistic Sacrament, because it just says, I rip 3 things out I don't like. Nightmare Incursion is fantastic, but it can only really be played in mono black because of its Swamps Matter. That's the thing about a lot of good black cards, is they're all about Swamps Matter. And pretty much my discard is what makes my version of the deck so hated. Because I can just be like, oh, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, your hand's gone. It's like, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Hymn to Turak, Herpaderp. Oh, I think that's only happened once. Persecute's underrated. Even against multicolored decks, it can snag a good portion of their hand, especially if you cast a Duress earlier. Mind Twist, because Mind Twist is actually banned in the French list, but it's not banned in the official MTG Commander list, simply because its power doesn't scale well in multiplayer. Mind Shatter is just another Mind Twist. Mind Sludge says discard your hand. Head Games I really love, because basically Head Games is another discard spell. You just say, oh, your hand is land. Or if they're mana screwed, you can say, your hand is things you can't cast. I'm still kind of angry I got rid of my Thoughtseize as it states a couple years back. I didn't think they would go up to $30. I got rid of them when they were $15, darn it. And good old Hippie. Hippie's kind of in here for sentimental reasons. The random discard is nice, but I think it's too slow. If I were to optimize the deck, I would probably play another 1 mana discard spell, probably Despise. And I have a couple of staple black draw spells in here, like Phyrexian Arena, which every deck playing black should play, period. And Promise of Power, for reasons you'll see. The reason why Skithiryx is hated, not in general, but my version of it, is because my version of Skithiryx is a Necropotence deck, through and through. It plays Venser's Journal, as I said, plays Ivory Tower, and with Reliquary Tower in the deck, Necro Tower is one of the oldest combos in the game, and this is the card that caused the infamous Black Summer, where Wizards couldn't figure out that rather than ban the cards that are good with Necropotence, ban Necropotence. Can't believe how long it took them to figure it out. It's like, just ban the engine. It's the same reason why Stoneforge Mystic got banned, not Batterskull. I do have a few finishers besides Skittles, but they're really few and far between, because Skittles is the deck's main game plan. Drana used to be the general for the deck. Now her job is just sitting in the 99, clearing out people's creatures, and she can pump herself pretty huge with Cabal Coffers, Gauntlet of Power, and all the black mana doubling. Abyssal Persecutor generally is used as a blocker more than an attacker. Reaver Demon is Wrath on a creature. Avatar Woe is, well, Avatar Woe, just really good. Kalidas is Avatar Woe number 2 that also makes creatures. Magus of the Coffers is, well, another Coffers. And this is one of my favorite black cards from Time Spiral, Curse of the Cabal. I don't really suspend it, because suspending it is just terrible. It makes one person sacrifice a permanent every other turn, but with 10 mana, you just pop this on someone and they just cry. Now this is the reason why Skithiryx is such a deadly general. I'm running Stratascythe, Nightmare Lash, and Lashwraith. These cards say, if you have 6 swamps, you win the game. Well, you don't win the game, but somebody dies. Because the reason why Skithiryx is so silly, and I really disagree with Sheldon, he should have made Poison be 15 in EDH rather than 10. Because only having to deal 10 damage with your general is a bit much. And the rest of the deck is basically just removal. The main game plan of the game is to play Skithiryx, give him a Nightmare Lash, Lashwraith, Stratascythe, whatever buff you can, and just remove anything that's in the way. I really love Lethal Vapors in this deck because if you have 2 extra mana when you cast your general, he will survive Lethal Vapors. And the rest of it is, for the most part, just generic Wraths, removal, just anything to get in the way. All His Dust gets rid of annoying things that your deck normally can't get rid of, as well as Disc. Consume the Meek is for token armies. Mutilate, it should be in every black deck, or every mono black deck rather. It's so good. Plague Wind is another Wrath. I've also got plenty of spot removal to get rid of just random dorks. Eye of Blight's Ending gets rid of all my... You'll notice most of my removal has the capability of getting rid of black creatures. It's actually pretty important when you're playing against... When you're playing a black deck to be able to get rid of black creatures, because most good removal will not kill black creatures. I love Tendrils of Corruption in this deck. I used to play Corrupt, but I took it out because I found it too slow. Tendrils of Corruption basically says, kill a creature, draw a bunch of cards. Shriekmaw's a dude that you can put in here. A dude kills a creature. You can put Nightmare Lash on it if you can't find Skithiryx for some reason, but you run so many tutors that you shouldn't have to. Snuff Out. Hey, I'm tapped out. Oh, I'm not that tapped out. Diabolic Edict, Rend Flesh, wherever the Rend Flesh is. Sudden Death, Geth's Verdict. Seize the Soul is something that I really like. It was really strong against the red-green decks in Standard from its time, because you could, on attack, kill a Rumbling Slum, make a 1-1, haunt the 1-1 with Seize the Soul, block a 3-4, or not block the 3-4. You could block like a 2-1, and then kill a 3-4, leaving yourself with a 1-1 for 1 card. It was awesome. Innocent Blood's 1 mana removal that works on everybody. It's awesome. Every black-based control deck should be playing it. My alternate win condition is Drain Life spells, and I run 4. I have Profane Command, which usually says kill 1 player, give Skittles fear. Exsanguinate drains everyone. Probably the best Drain Life spell out there. Consume Spirit, and good old Drain Life to round it out. Might want to take the hint, RC. Ban this card. It is broken.